Good morning, Village Club of Sands Point members. Kyle Higgins here, your Director of Golf. Today we're going to talk about a few ways that you should be taking care of the golf course each and every time you play. First, we're going to start with filling divots. So most of the time when you swing the club around the golf course, when you're taking a full shot, you're going to create a divot that looks something like this. Now, our golf course superintendent, Ethan Johnson, prefers that rather than replacing it with the piece of grass we removed, we just take our sand bottles that are provided on each of the carts. We throw a little bit of sand in the bottom, just enough to coat the bottom of the divot, step on it, make sure it's nice and flat, and you're on your way. Next, we're going to head over to the bunker and talk a little bit about how we take care of it, raking it, and then how we enter and exit. All right, so now we're going to move on to the bunker. Now, it's really important that you always enter and exit from the low side. Here at the Village Club of Sands Point, as you can see with this bunker here, we have a lot that have very steep faces. So we don't want you to be entering from the high side, number one, because we don't want you to injure yourself trying to step down the steep face. And number two, we're also looking to avoid damaging the bunkers. So I'm going to walk in here, hit a shot. Again, always entering and exiting from the low side. Okay, so now that I've hit my shot, I want to walk out in the footprints I created as I walked in. I'm going to take my rake and I'm going to make sure that my club mark and my foot marks are nice and smooth. Now, one thing we want to do when we're doing this properly is make sure we're pushing the rake away from us to make that sand nice and smooth. A lot of people will throw the rake into the ground and then drag a lot of sand, and now that leaves little ruts in it where someone else's ball is likely to end up. So we start close to us, and we push that sand away from us, leaving it nice and smooth, and we walk our way out of the bunker, making sure we get all of our club marks and our footprints. So now we leave a nice smooth surface for someone else to play out of. All right, now that I've just hit my shot from the bunker, now I'm going to walk to the green, and we're going to talk a bit about ball marks. But before we do that, we want to make sure we give our shoes a little tap with our club, stomp them on the ground, something to get rid of all the excess sand that's sitting in the bottom of your shoes. So let's head on to the green. So each and every time our golf ball strikes the green, it makes an impression, or what we call ball marks. It's really important to fix these because left untreated, these little spots die in the sun and then the grass itself ends up dying. It'll leave a lot of discolored spots and uneven surfaces on the green. So every time your ball strikes the green, it's important to fix those ball marks, and here's how we do it properly. We're going to start on the high side of the ball mark. We're going to stick our tee or our divot tool into the ground, just like this on the high side, and now we're going to push that tee in towards the center. What you don't want to do is put the tee into the ground and pull back. A lot of people do this because it makes it nice and flat, but it also rips the root system from the ground and the ball mark ends up dying anyway. So we always go tee into the ground, around the outside, all the way. You don't have to be super gentle with it, just enough to be able to move the grass around. All right, and now we have a nice flat part of the green to putt over. You either tap it down with your foot, with your club, something to make it nice and flat and create a smooth putting surface. Okay, so now that we've covered golf course care, we're going to talk a little bit about pace of play and ways to speed up your round. Normally, we play the honor system where the lowest score on the previous hole will tee off first on the next one. But here, we'd like to offer the idea of ready golf. So if you get to the tee, although it may not be your turn to hit, if you're ready, tee it up and let it fly. Now when we get down the hole, typically the person who's furthest away from the hole will play first. But here's where we also ask you to play ready golf. So where it may not be necessarily your turn to play, if you get to your ball and you're ready to go, we ask that you do that, and then when the next person gets to their ball, they're able to play when they're ready as well. Ready golf means being ready when it's your turn to play. One of the ways you can help yourself do this is when you're in the cart with a fellow member or guest, one thing you're going to do is drop your cart partner off at their ball over here, while my ball might be up a little bit further to the left. One of the things that's going to save some time is by dropping the person off at their ball with the clubs that they need as I drive to my ball over there. Now, once their shot is complete, I've already selected my club and I'm ready to go the second it's my turn. After your shot's complete, you drive over to your playing partner, you pick them up, and you move on down the fairway. So utilizing the concept of ready golf, just as we did back in the fairway, is something we also want to do as we approach the green. So let's say my playing partner has hit his approach shot into this bunker. Rather than drive up next to the bunker and watch him hit his shot and then proceed up to my ball, which might be on the green, I'm going to drop my playing partner off at the bunker, and then I'm going to leave him with whatever clubs he needs, a couple wedges and a putter, so that way he's ready to go to the green when it's his turn to putt. What I'm going to do is now take the cart up the cart path and park it behind the green, which is on my way to the next tee. So that's something that's going to help you pick up your pace of play and also be ready when it's your turn. Okay, so now that I've completed the hole and I've left my cart in a convenient location on my way to the second tee, that makes it easier for me to move on and keep pace of play moving. The other thing you're going to want to do is, rather than writing your scores down once you get to the cart, make your way to the next tee box and then confirm the scores of the people in your group, so where you can record them. Now you're ready to hit your tee shot on the next hole. So here we are on the left side of our second hole here at the Village Club, and you'll notice that this area is painted red. Now that signifies it's a lateral penalty area. Anytime we're searching for a lost ball, we only get 3 minutes. Now once that 3 minutes is up, that means I have to take my drop. So for a lateral penalty area, I would estimate the last point that my ball crossed the line. I would take 2 club lengths from that point, no closer to the hole. I'll put a tee down in the ground to signify my drop area. And now I'm going to take my ball, drop it from knee height, not shoulder height, which prior to 2019 was the rule. We're going to drop it from knee height, somewhere in between those tees. And now the ball is in play. But please remember, it's under a 1-shot penalty.